To start off the show tonight, it is my sad duty as the host of this program to announce the passing of the son of one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, Nature Boy Ric Flair, Reid Flair. May he rest in peace, man. Found dead in a hotel room in Charlotte, North Carolina this past Friday morning. I've encouraged any independent wrestler, promoter, or anybody that would like to call up and give their thoughts on one of the rising stars in this business, a big indie wrestler, big on the indie scene. Pretty much from what I understand, the NXT contract was just waiting for his signature, and Vince was planning to talk to him over the WrestleMania weekend coming up, and this hits me because, I mean, I pride myself on being a fan of Ric Flair's, and I try to take the Hollywood J. Williams character and come out in style and profile and wheel and deal, and
it's just another tragic loss to the wrestling community. You know, ironically enough, I was watching only a few days ago the Triumph and Tragedy of the Von Erich family on DVD, and just, you know, for this to happen like right after my watching that, it's like, you know, how many of these really tragedies are we going to have to live through? And I can't imagine, you know, what's going through Ric Flair's mind and, you know, the rest of his family. And his daughter also just signed a fresh contract with
his daughter Ashley does
as well
compete for NXT. Rick's been known to come out, accompany her to the ring from time to time in a managerial capacity, but this is what it is. Charlotte Mecklenburg Police Department confirmed that Reid Flair, the son of Ric Flair, was found dead Friday morning in a Charlotte hotel. According to a press release, police were called to a hotel room at 10:35 a.m. after hotel staff reported a, quote, unresponsive man, unquote. The hotel has been identified as a Marriott Residence Inn located near South Park in Charlotte's high-end shopping district. Police have not officially confirmed the cause of death for Reid, who was only 24, but the initial belief is a drug overdose. Detectives have also determined that no foul play appears to be involved. The CBS affiliate WBTV noted that Reid was scheduled to join his father for the Big Time Wrestling Tour, which started this past weekend. It ran through Altoona, Pennsylvania over the weekend, started in Maryland. So like I said, anybody with thoughts on the subject of Reid Flair, the passing of Ric Flair's son, are encouraged to call us up here at 203-234-0025. I apologize, we don't have any graphics right now.
Yeah, the phone lines will be up in approximately 10 minutes, so give us a little bit.
Yeah.
Technical difficulties are still haunting us. I think the April Fool's joke is on us today. But again, sad news, Reid Flair. God bless the Flair family.
I saw a couple of his. I saw a match he competed in Japan. One of the many. He recently just returned from there.
Right.
And he also did something with Lucha Libre USA. I noticed.
Yeah, I mean, definitely an up and coming star, and you know, there was no telling what he could have accomplished, especially with you know, the legacy of the Flair family.
Right.
And you know, I mean, right now the WWE is like the legacy company. You know, how many second, third generation, you know, wrestlers are in the WWE right now, and he would have been, you know, the next rising star.
Exactly.
And again, it's just a really tragic and sad story. And I just, you know, again and again we see this, and you would think that, you know, these guys, not only in the wrestling world, but in sports in general, would learn that, you know, the drug problem is, you know, you got to take care of it. You really, you know, you need to, you know, I understand that there's prescription painkillers, and you know, these guys are going out there and they're working through injuries and they're in a lot of pain. but you know, you need to figure out a way to manage it and
He definitely
do
had
things
his
properly without without running into these complications.
he had his demons. I guess he had a heroin arrest around a year ago, and I don't know what if it was something like, well, I'm going to be signing with Vince McMahon pretty soon, and I mean, I don't mean any disrespect, but they think maybe it was his last hurrah. He would never be able to do drugs again. I mean,
I mean,
it doesn't change anything.
No,
I mean,
we can't get into somebody's head. We can't think to know. You know, we can't pretend to know what was going through his head at the time. But you know, again, all the best to the Flair family and in the extended wrestling community. You know, anybody that knew him. You know, everybody's coming out. The outpouring of love and great things that people were saying about this kid. You know, 25 years old, by the way. Just
too young.
Yeah, way too young. So, you know, don't try this at home. Trust me, it's not worth it.
No, but
let's move on to
more
positive.
Let's do that.
That's our somber note.
Anybody that wants to call in with their thoughts.
Please.
But anyway, we're going to talk about the main thing coming up this coming Sunday.
Well, first of all, we have huge news for the show today. Vince McMahon was at the Yankees opening day today. I believe prior to arriving at Yankee Stadium, he was over at MetLife making arrangements. The fire marshal did inform him that their capacity was 81,000, not to exceed that. So we'll see if he announces a higher number, as he usually does exaggerate the attendance for each and every WrestleMania. But the 81,000 is the limit set by the fire marshal for MetLife Stadium. But Vince was at MetLife Stadium, and he was also at Yankee Stadium watching the Yankees get beat today by the Boston Red Sox. And to quote John Sterling, "The Yankees lose! The Yankees lose!" That's my bit of baseball for today. Coming up on the program, since Vince is in town, we convinced Mr. McMahon to make an appearance. So, you know, call the neighbors, wake the kids. Mr. McMahon.
He's not in Washington. He's not in Washington D.C. tonight. He's right here at our studio.
Coming up toward the end of the hour, he promised us a moment in his time.
So yeah, the big day this coming Sunday, 7 p.m.
Yeah, well,
number 29.
For fans of the show, prior to WrestleMania, watch right here on this station. We have our pre-Mania party, which will be airing live, and we'll be making our predictions. We've got two guests from PWA, the Powerhouse Wrestling Academy, right in New Haven. We're going to be talking about their card coming up. They gave their thoughts on WrestleMania and their predictions. We're going to have them on our show on this coming Sunday.
Our good friend, the Fogman from Center Ring.
Fogman is going to give us a hand on Sunday.
Was helping it, you know, it's going to be helping us. You'll see. You'll see.
And special surprise appearance by a former WWF talent. Keep your eyes open for that. You might blink and miss it, but definitely surprises
also
coming up on Sunday.
A blast from the Squared Circles past.
Yeah, we've invited Mr. Jordan Izzo, former co-host, to come on in and join us for our pre-Mania party coming up on Sunday. So we will definitely have a blast coming up Sunday. And
tune in. It starts about 4:45 here at NHTV.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
and we're going to lead you right into WrestleMania. So your pre-Mania party, spend with us. You'll see some.
We're not going to be on before WrestleMania. WrestleMania is going to be on after us.
After us, right? Exactly.
Exactly. It's going to be a little different, and it's going to, you know, it's going to be interesting. So stay tuned.
Yeah.
But today being April 1st. It's a very significant day. Speaking of WrestleMania and WrestleMania history, I got a lot of interesting facts here.
Oh, yeah.
For example, WrestleMania 6 was on April 1st, 1990, the day the WrestleMania that the Ultimate Warrior captured the WWF title from Hulk Hogan
Yeah.
at the Sky Dome in Toronto.
Jim Hellwig.
Jim Hellwig.
Where are you now?
Jim Hellwig is on YouTube, and he doesn't have too many nice things to say about Hulk Hogan.
No. Jim Hellwig is definitely digging himself farther and farther into a hole where we may never ever see him in the WWE Hall of Fame due to his negative comments.
Some of the things he was saying about Hulk Hogan, and I really.
Yeah, I mean, every man is allowed to their opinion, but I mean, sometimes you got to censor yourself, and
I think it's just I don't see Hulk Hogan doing the things that Jim Hellwig is accusing him of doing.
Well, I mean, obviously you and I weren't there. Hellwig was, Ultimate Warrior. And there's definitely sour grapes there, but I've said on the show before, the self-destruction of the Ultimate Warrior has got to be my favorite of the WWE DVD releases. And if it can be believed, all the guys that knew him and worked with him just line up to bash this guy. And nobody really, while he was in the WWF, nobody was really a big fan of him in the locker room, in the ring. So, I mean, now this guy is coming back and and just
slinging dirt,
slinging the hash. Yeah. So.
He's mudslinging. He's I don't know what kind of point he's trying to prove.
Right. And he did make a statement to Vince that he wouldn't come back or have any involvement with either the Hall of Fame or coming back to make an appearance unless he got an apology for that DVD. So
the self-destruction of the
Ultimate Warrior. So I don't see that happening anytime soon.
No. Maybe it'll be up to Vince's kids to decide.
Yeah, well, you know what? I mean, we got Bruno Sammartino this year, so that just proves that hell has frozen over.
So
anything can happen.
If Bruno Sammartino could be going into the Hall of Fame, maybe in time for WrestleMania 40.
Yeah.
When Jim Hellwig is in his 70s or something at that point.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
Right, but WrestleMania 17, April 1st, 2001.
Yep.
Was the symbolic end of the Attitude Era as Stone Cold Steve Austin turned heel, joined forces with Mr. McMahon to beat The Rock. This was after Vince McMahon purchased WCW.
Right, and The Rock at WrestleMania 17, and now we have The Rock at WrestleMania 29. 12 years later, it's like nothing has changed?
Nothing has changed. He's still The Rock.
He's still The Rock, and here we are. He's headlining WrestleMania once again. It's like, come on, guys. How many times do we say, bring up these young talents and give somebody else a chance at it? It's insane.
It's something I think I said it before. The Rock needs to make a choice. Do you want to be an actor, or do you want to be a sports entertainer?
Oh, yeah. Hey, obviously, The Rock was brought in, he's getting paid a considerable amount, and WWE brought him in to put eyes on the screen, asses in the seats, butts in the seats. And, so, I mean, you can't put it all on The Rock's shoulders. You really can't.
I think there'd be butts in the seats and there'd be people tuning in if The Rock was not there and with TNA anyway, or whatever.
Right. I think, they've got from now until the next WrestleMania to build up some of these new characters, build up some of these new talents, and hopefully by the time the next WrestleMania comes around, we won't have to resort to bringing in somebody that's not there week in and week out. And I hate to sound like John Cena, but John Cena has been there every week. And the last couple weeks on Raw, you had your world champion not even on the show.
On the other side of the world, making a movie, not even there. And ladies and gentlemen, next Monday night's Raw, The Rock will not be there.
The one after WrestleMania.
The one after WrestleMania.
Yeah.
He won't even come back the next night to say goodbye, at least.
Isn't that ridiculous?
Which is totally,
Why don't you build up somebody that wants to be in the company, that wants to be on Raw every week, and
right.
Put some time into developing a new talent. A new talent like some of these fellas at the Powerhouse Wrestling Academy.
Right. Go ahead and talk about the PWA, because what do we got there? Are you having something?
Yeah, I'm having a little
problem with your ear?
difficulty. Yeah. Our producer's talking to us. I can't understand them. Powerhouse Wrestling Academy. Getting back to that. I mean, the Young Stars coming up April 20th right, in Gardner, Massachusetts. If you go onto their website, it's ProWrestlingAcademy.com. Excuse me, ProWrestlingAcademyCT.com. Facebook.com/PWACT. Right. The full card is on there. They just added A.R. Fox, who you've heard me talk about ad nauseum on this show. Nocturne, Pedro Wandones, the best heel in the business right now. Pedro Wandones III. Buzz Bloodsaw, Mega Muerte, just an animal, just a monster. One of the largest fellas and most agile wrestlers I've seen.
The man who was recently
Yeah.
the man who has recently departed the NAFW company, who also participates in PWA, Christian Frost.
Christian Frost, Azrael, Heart Attack, Tommy Mack, who's still in the gut check challenge. Try saying that gut check challenge for TNA. He's still in the running. Tina San Antonio is going to be there. She's also in the gut check running. Vote for both of them on TNA.com. Draven, the PWA champion, Lucifer Lords, one of our past guests on the show right here. Buzz Bloodsaw was a past guest on our show. Lil Schmidt.
Past guest on our show.
Past guest on our show. And Joseph Von Schmidt.
Past guest on our show.
The head of the company. And, you know, the card is going to be fantastic. We talked about, we were there a couple of weeks ago in Shelton at the Boys and Girls Club at the show there. And just quality from top to bottom. Great storylines, great in-ring talent, and just a great bunch of people. A family-oriented operation. From the person you walk in the door, you get greeted and treated very nicely. From the person that sells you the ticket at the door, the people at the merch table, right? The security around the ring, helping you out, finding your seats, you know, getting your way around. Just from top to bottom, the wrestlers come out during intermission, sign autographs, shake hands, kissing babies, you know, taking pictures, and just everything from top to bottom for a family-friendly price, less than the cost of going to a 3D movie.
Oh, I think so.
You know, and you're getting a quality product.
Very quality product.
But, you know, let me just say once again, ProWrestlingAcademyCT.com and Facebook.com/PWACT. Powerhouse Wrestling Academy, right up the street in New Haven, Connecticut.
Yeah, lots of indies coming. I know May 11th. There's also up in Chicopee, Massachusetts, the NAFW Battleground.
Awesome. Northeast Wrestling May 3rd is coming up.
Northeast Wrestling May 3rd. We have a CTWE card coming up, the Bricomania 5.
Bricomania.
Bricomania running wild.
Yeah, support indie wrestling. A lot of the stuff, we have links on our Facebook page. You go to the Squared Circle on Facebook,
right,
and find our page, and you'll see the links for all of these independent cards.
Yep, we have a Facebook like page. We have the Facebook blog page.
Yes.
We have the Hollywood J. Williams webcam.
Yeah, that's a new addition. New addition. It's an experiment in the works right now.
An experiment in the works right now, and it doesn't really. Looks like I'm a space alien looking down on this human.
Yeah, we'll work out those technical bugs soon.
Exactly, but getting back to, I have another interesting WrestleMania, April 1st, 2007. The main event was John Cena versus Shawn Michaels, but the big hyped up event that year was the challenge between Vince McMahon and the future Hall of Famer Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Hair versus hair match.
And that was WrestleMania 23.
That was WrestleMania 23, where Vince McMahon had his head shaved by Donald Trump and Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, and matter of fact, today I mentioned that Vince was at the Yankee game, and he was sitting in the suite with Mr. Donald Trump. So they were probably going over their their Hall of Fame induction speech there.
Yeah, I wonder who exactly is going to be inducting Donald Trump into the Hall of Fame.
I thought it was his daughter, possibly.
Donald Trump's own daughter?
Yeah, yeah. I think it should be $1 Million Man, honestly.
I think it should be Vince McMahon.
But, you know, $1 Million Man, putting in the $1 Million Man himself.
The other $1 million,
The other $1 million
the
man.
millions dollar man.
Right.
Exactly. I do have the final card as it stands for WrestleMania 29. We'll give you like a pre-show to the pre-show tonight.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Here we go. We have a mixed eight-person Brodus Clay, Tenzai, Cameron and Naomi, the Funkadactyls versus the Rhodes Scholars and Brie and Nikki Bella.
That's going to be crazy.
It's going to be crazy.
It's gonna be crazy.
That's going to be the funny part of the evening.
The good part coming out of this is we've got 2 more female wrestlers, 2 more divas, and hopefully they'll allow them to break off from Tensai and Brodus Clay and become, you know, wrestlers.
I know
think,
Cameron wrestled 1 match so far.
Yes. Yeah. You know, I mean, she came up through NXT, and hopefully, you know, with bringing Brie and Nikki Bella back, we can see a little bit more of the diva division being built up again.
Brie and Nikki Bella are absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
I remember the CTWE where they were there.
They were in town not too long ago. And
came out with the Platinum Entourage. The Platinum Entourage.
Also friends of the show. And
Showtime Stevie Stamos.
Another former guest on our show.
I guess you call him the sort of co-host of Center Ring. Kind of, sort of.
Yeah.
Stevie Stamos and Jay Busta making up the Platinum Entourage.
Yeah.
And Nikki Nitro.
And now he's got Nikki Nitro, the lovely and talented.
The entourage is growing as we speak.
Yeah, they'll be bigger than the NWO was at one point. Who knows? But the Intercontinental title will also be defended by Wade Barrett as he takes on The Miz.
I think it's a good fuse. I like, you know, I honestly think if you look back, The Miz has really carved out a career for himself. And, you know, he was, 2 years ago, headlined WrestleMania, and, you know, he kind of lost some steam there, and now he's gaining some of that.
He's gaining it back.
And I like his character. I like where they've gone with him. I love his segments of Miz TV because he's just the ultimate wise guy. And
he is.
I like him. I mean, he's got great facial expressions, and
he's doing great as a babyface now too. I think it's helping his career out quite a bit.
I like the guy. I can't say that I've always been on board, but you know, I think what he's done as far as the loyalty and
definitely. So being so young, he could have easily said, you know, I'm going to talk to Dixie over here.
Oh yeah. So I like where they're going with that, and I think it's a good feud. It should be a good match. I mean, The Miz in ring has gotten so much better in the last 3-4 years. You know, and he's definitely worked on his craft and improved it. And you know, maybe he'll win this one for his fiancée.
The Miz's fiancée.
Yeah.
Who's his fiancée?
That would be Maurice.
Wow.
Yeah. That would be Maurice. Don't you watch our show? I announced that the last time we were on.
Maria's getting married to Mike Bennett.
I see. Maria and Mike Bennett?
Yeah.
Who's Mike Bennett?
He's an indie wrestler.
He's an indie wrestler.
Yeah. He'll be at I believe, at the next NEW show?
May 3rd.
Yeah, May 3rd.
Check him out.
You might be able to bump into Maria Kanellis.
Daniel Bryan and Kane versus Dolph Ziggler and Biggie Langston. That is for the tag team belts. I think Bryan and Kane are going to retain. I don't see Dolph Ziggler and Biggie Langston staying as a tag team.
No,
they're just kind of thrown together.
I see Ziggler coming back later on. I have a feeling that that's either going to be the internet match or it's going to be the very first match, because Ziggler is going to come back later on and cash in his Money in the Bank.
He's going to have to, because he still has it.
My prediction.
I don't see him cashing the briefcase in this evening.
No.
Or between, it would kind of be pointless at that point.
Yeah, I think you know, he'll have that match early on at WrestleMania, have like 2.5 hours to rest, and get himself back together, and come back out and cash in.
Y2J, Chris Jericho versus
Oh, please don't.
Fandango.
Oh, goodness me.
I wasn't going to even...
yeah.
Because you know what? No matter how you say it, he's going to tell you you're not saying it right anyway.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, Jericho, God bless him, he's putting over this young kid, you know, brand new into the company. I know he's been on the fringes for a while now, but this character anyway, Fandango,
Fandango or
whatever his name is. So I mean, you know, Jericho's going to put him over, and if anybody can put, you know, somebody over, it's Jericho. Jericho can have a match with a wooden broom. So
Jericho will make
make him look good.
Make him look good, and you know, as long as he decides to wrestle, as long as in front of 100,000 fans at MetLife Stadium, he
81,000
to not wrestle and go back to the. I think he's going to wrestle Chris Jericho. I think he's going to try the same thing. Like WrestleMania 29, you could have seen the debut of Fandango.
Right.
He's gonna go walking back, and all of a sudden you're gonna see Vince McMahon walk out.
Right.
If you don't get in that ring right now, and that's gonna be it.
It's possible. It's possible. Yeah, we'll have to ask him in a few moments.
We'll ask Vince in a few moments if Johnny Curtis has to wrestle
Yeah.
on at WrestleMania, or he will lose his job. The world title, the most controversial, or one of the most controversial characters that the WWE has came up with in recent memory, Jack Swagger with the repackaged Dutch Mantel now as his manager, Zeb Coulter.
Yeah.
With their anti-immigration
Stance. Right.
stance,
Right.
they're reformists. Go back to the other side of the fence, please. That's their attitude. Taking on Alberto Del Rio.
Del Rio.
Right, the world heavyweight champion. This is the match where I think Swagger is going to win. You're going to take this hated character and you're going to make him even more hated by giving him the belt.
Oh, here's my prediction. Swagger wins. Ziggler comes out, you know, Money in the Bank briefcase, beats Swagger, and Swagger goes off and serves his suspension for the drug bust not too long ago, the DUI. So,
This is exactly the perfect opportunity
yeah.
for
He does have
Ziggler
to
to cash in his briefcase.
Yeah, and Swagger does have to go back and after WrestleMania and go to court. So, you know, I don't think Vince is going to risk having the world title on somebody that, you know, is going to have to go sit in court.
Exactly,
You know?
exactly.
I don't think it'll look the belt will look good on him on the witness stand.
No, this is the perfect opportunity for Ziggler to cash in his briefcase.
Yeah, Ziggler cashes in, Jack Swagger disappears for a little while.
Yeah, Ziggler goes ahead and fuses Del Rio for the time being.
Yeah. Well, Ziggler's due.
Ziggler is definitely due. No holds barred, and if Triple H loses, he has to go back into the office.
Yeah.
Which he's probably going to do, even if he wins.
Well, being that Brock
Triple H
Lesnar,
versus Brock Lesnar.
yeah, being that Brock Lesnar has signed on for quite a long time now, you're not going to see, you know, too much more of Triple H. Triple H is going to go to the everyday, you know, day-to-day running of the WWE, and you know, they're still trying to get the network off the ground. They got a lot of stuff happening, and
A lot of board meetings still to come. A lot of business meetings.
You know, I would like to see that, you know, Triple H comes out and takes over the McMahon character, you know, of being the boss, and you know, eventually he'll get back into a feud with somebody and get dragged back into the ring. But for the moment, I think you'll see him retired from at least a ring. He may come out in an executive position, you know, and you know, do the old McMahon character style. You know, come out and, you know, run the show.
And see if Brock were to beat him fair and square, it would put Brock over again too.
Yeah, without a doubt.
It would give more legitimacy to Brock Lesnar, who I think since he's back for at least the next 2 years, he's going to wear one of the belts.
Yeah.
At some point.
Not that I'd like to see that, but it's probably going to happen.
Right. Yeah. It's something that I think that's part of the deal. Like he's probably like, look, man, if you want me back, this is what I want.
Yeah. Yeah. Without a doubt.
And that happens a lot in business.
Yeah, well, he's definitely writing his own. He's writing his own ticket. We mentioned on the show before that he was the first WWE talent that can sell his own advertising on his shirts and stuff like that.
Right.
So he's for whatever reason they're basically giving him whatever he wants.
Mm-hmm. Whatever he wants.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know if I can say Brock Lesnar will win. But Triple H will go back into the office.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be a fight.
If this is not the blow off, then probably the next pay-per-view it'll happen.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, depending on where they're going to go with title changes on the rest of the card.
Mm-hmm.
Baby faces.
You gotta have a good mix because it's WrestleMania. You want to
right.
Yeah, you actually probably want to have it more slanted towards the baby face and the heel.
So you can't have all baby face or all heel. So I mean, it depending on where they're going to go with the rest of the card. We may see the blow off of this feud at WrestleMania. If not, definitely at the next pay-per-view.
Definitely coming up.
Yeah.
But another feud starting up, and there was an altercation on SmackDown which I missed because I usually miss SmackDown anyway.
You don't miss much, but
right. I gotta go out and see my people.
Yeah.
See the thousands and the thousands of Hollywood Jays fans.
Thousands and thousands
out there in the many local watering holes and establishments, and hanging with my people basically. So I don't get the really chance to be home on Friday nights too much. Happened to be home this Friday night, but I still missed it because there was something else on. Mark Henry will go one-on-one with Feed Me.
Yeah.
A microphone.
I think this will be a botchamania. I really don't see these two guys having any kind of technical match. It'll just be a spot fest.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be interested to see if Ryback can actually lift Mark Henry.
They'll be trying to one-up each other.
Yeah.
Who's bigger, who's stronger.
Well, I think Mark Henry can definitely slam Ryback, but I don't think Ryback can lift up Mark Henry.
Mark Henry's a big boy.
Yeah, he is.
If he can lift up Mark Henry, he's going to be feeling that
be interesting
for the next 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah. We got to rush through this a little bit. We're running short on time.
We are running short on time. It's amazing. But that leads us to CM Punk versus The Undertaker and The Rock versus Cena.
Yeah. Well, you've heard me say again and again what I think is going to happen with The Undertaker and Punk. I still say that we're going to see a surprise appearance by Paul Bearer and the urn with the light coming out of it, and that's all I'll say now.
That's all we can leave it at that. Yeah.
I'll leave it at that.
We beat that one up before, and I think I know what's going to happen between The Rock and Cena.
Yeah. Cena needs to win this. It's a must-win for Cena. The Rock is going off to make his movies. We're not going to see him after, like you just mentioned. We're not going to see him at the Raw. So how are you going to have this guy win and be the world champion, and he's not even going to be on Raw the next night after WrestleMania? Come on, I mean, it's just ludicrous.
It's not right. It doesn't make any sense. At least come back to say goodbye to the fans. At least be honest.
You can't have Happy Days without Fonzie. And it's like you can't have Raw without your world champion.
No.
You can't have Seinfeld without Jerry. It doesn't make any sense.
You can't have Enterprise without Archer. You can't have Next Generation without Picard.
Yeah. I mean, the star of your company, the one that holds your prestigious championship belt, isn't going to be on your show every week. It just doesn't make any sense. You can't have a show without him.
Exactly. You can't have the news without Diane Sawyer.
Yeah. It's just silliness.
It's crazy. According to the WWE VP John Sabor, he believes they will draw 1.3 million buys.
I'd like to see the number. We'll have to see the numbers.
That's what they're predicting.
That would be the new record for a WrestleMania, and I don't really see the interest, being at that peak level. Other than the swagger fiasco that happened like a month back, there really hasn't been mainstream press
No.
that you normally see during the WrestleMania season. He hasn't gotten a lot of, especially being for New York, you would think that there would be a lot more people talking about it, you know, other than you and I.
Right.
You know, I mean, the mainstream media, you know, like ABC, NBC, haven't really touched
They haven't
upon
picked
it.
up about it.
And
you
the
know.
sick thing was, you know, we going back to The Rock. The Rock was on, I believe it was Jimmy Fallon, one of the late night talk shows,
And never mentioned it.
and never mentioned WrestleMania. I know he was there to promote G.I. Joe, the movie, which finally came out after a year being delayed. And he didn't even mention WrestleMania.
And he's the
here
champion right now,
Yeah,
too.
you have the world champion. He doesn't have the belt with him. He doesn't talk about WWE at all. And the strange thing is that WWE has been hyping the living daylights
yeah.
out of G.I. Joe the movie. You know, they've done a lot of cooperative advertising, you know, to coincide with The Rock's appearance.
It's almost like
on
who's
Raw.
using who.
Yeah.
It
So
really.
for The Rock to be on, you know, one of the top talk shows and not mention that, hey, I'm going to be at WrestleMania in a
And
week and a half.
I'm defending my belt.
Yeah. You know, it just adds to our argument that The Rock isn't really interested in being the world champion and being in
And
the
even
WWE.
being there at all. So it's like, why do you come back?
And there's no mainstream, you know, media. There's no hype, really.
You got
And-
Sean Diddy Combs providing this year's musical performance.
Well,
It's not my line of music though.
yeah, well, you know, I think it'll be better than Flo Rida.
Yeah. He's providing this year's musical performance at WrestleMania 29.
And when you know, when was P. Diddy relevant last?
It's not my genre of music, so
Yeah.
I wouldn't even know. I wouldn't know how great he was, if he was the greatest rapper, or if
Well, I mean, there was a
Ice Cube
time
or
when he
any-
was on the top of the charts, and you know, he was everywhere. But you know, right now he's more of a producer and behind the scenes. He's running the record label and what have you. So I mean, as a face, an on-air talent, you know,
Yeah.
on the charts and you know, on your TV screen, he hasn't really been, you know, a big draw. And
He's co-hosting the Superstars for Sandy Relief Party with Vince McMahon this coming week. He will serve as an ambassador for WWE's Be a Star anti-bullying initiative. He's helping out. He's a producer. He's
Yeah.
another TV movie producer, probably trying to get into Vince's head, trying to tell
you
him.
know, I mean, he's a big mover behind the scenes in the industry right now, especially the music industry. So, I mean, the guy is relevant behind the scenes, but as far as putting him out there, you know, as a face to be singing at WrestleMania, I think you could have got a more prominent figure that would have brought you, you know, more fans. You know, that 18 to 25-year-old.
What about Ozzy?
demographic?
There you go.
No, well, you know, he's over the hill.
Yeah.
But before we run out of time,
We are running out of
promised
time.
you, Mr. McMahon, and in our studio right now, we have the man himself, Mr. McMahon, Chairman and CEO. Welcome to our show,
Welcome to our show, Mr. McMahon.
Mr. McMahon.
This is Fandango, by the way.
Fandango.
Fandango.
Can you give us any insight?
Are you going to fire Fandango?
He will fight Chris Jericho.
He will.
Yes.
Hey, what'd you think of the Yankees getting the crap beat out of them by the Red Sox today? You enjoy the game?
Yes, because Red Sox are awesome.
Yeah. What do you think of the MetLife Stadium? You were there earlier today.
It's a nice place for WrestleMania, and it can hold 81,000.
Yeah. And will you guarantee this 1.3 million buys? You think you're going to break your all-time record for pay-per-views?
Yep.
You think so? I hope so.
And with only 3 minutes left, what do you think? Is The Rock going over? Are you going to bring him back, or you're going to kick his butt out of the show?
Is he going
Out of
after
the show. He's been complaining that he has to go to Hollywood, but I didn't let him. 'Cause he's a WWE champion.
Why the new belt?
Because it was Rock's idea. I thought it would be good in my head, but it turned out ugly.
It turned out ugly. I couldn't agree more. Mr. McMahon, obviously, this is April 1st. That was our little April Fool's joke. The Mr. McMahon character. We all wish you a wonderful April Fools. Don't fall for any more rags. Oh, before we leave, we wish our friend Tom Dacey a speedy recovery.
Definitely.
Friend of the show, the Thunderous One.
He's been released from the hospital as of yesterday.
Yes, he's, in all seriousness, no April Fool's joke here. Get better, Tom. We love you, man.
Definitely, he will. He was scheduled to appear with us talking with Tom tomorrow night. He will not be on tomorrow night due to health complications.
Unfortunately, yeah, 19 years in the business, and this is one of the few shows that he's actually missed. It's like the Iron Horse missing a game. Tom, we wish you the best.
God bless you,
sorry we couldn't
Tom.
get to your calls tonight. Sunday, pre-WrestleMania.
4:45.
4:45. You're going to see us live from Gaetano's in Wallingford, right up the street here.
Right.
We're going to have a wonderful feast. We're going to have some guests from PWA. Check them out. ProWrestlingAcademy.com, CT.com. I keep messing that up.
The Fogman from Center
Joseph,
Ring.
come power slam me, please, so I can get this right. The Fogman's going to be there. Special appearance by former WWF talent.
Right.
And it's going to be a great day. I can't wait to be there. Can't wait.
So make sure you tune in. That's this Sunday, 4:45. Get all your last-minute WrestleMania info
Oh, yeah.
before the big event.
Anything else you need to add, Jason?
I've pretty much said my piece for this evening.
We apologize for the late start tonight. Again, Schmidt happens,
Schmidt happens.
as in Joseph von Schmidt. Please don't censor me. Schmidt happens. PWA, check them out. Indie wrestling, check out all your indie wrestling. CTWE, NEW,
NEFW.
NEFW.
Check it all out.
Yeah, Bricomania coming around the corner. It's great stuff, man. Get out there for less than the cost of a movie ticket. You're going to see live entertainment and fun for the whole family.
Definitely. I'm Hollywood J. Williams. Good night and
I'm
good
John
luck.
Zimmerman. Have a nice one.